Okay, I'll go ahead and tell a short little story of how Walker and I met. I don't know if Walker remembers this is how it went, but this is how it went. We met a few days before school started, and we were both on third floor jet. And Walker was super sweet, came up to me, she introduced herself, she said, "I'm Walker Rose, it's really nice to meet you." And I mistakenly said, "Hi, I'm Sydney, it's really nice to meet you." And she proceeds, you go on and you're like, "Well, are you a transfer student? Like, are we gonna be classmates? Like, I can't wait for you to be at VES with us." Like, all this really kind stuff, but I then had to tell you I was not gonna be your classmate. I was, in fact, your advisor. And I had to break it to you that you couldn't call me Sydney and you had to call me Miss Thompson, which only lasted so long, but it's okay. And so ever since then, I mean, that was like a few kind of 30-second awkward encounter we had, but it's been super uphill since then, and I just adore you, and I'm going to miss you so much, and I can't wait to watch you grow at Chapel Hill. You're going to do great things.
Yay. So, I've got a little thing to say too. So, Walker joined my advisory this year along with 3 other seniors. And then I also have my first postgraduate advisee who rejoined the flock. I think that might be a VES historical moment. But it's been awesome to get to know Walker this year. The beauty of Walker Rose is that she tells it like it is. In a world where it's easy to sugarcoat things, believe me, that's my specialty, it can be easier to get straight to the point. Walker knows what she wants, but more importantly, she knows what she doesn't want. Case in point, lunch. If the menu is not appealing to Walker, she's going to make it known. 2 words. Cheeseburger pie. That's all I'm going to say about that. But when the menu features those great baguettes that we all love, and then, or you can create your own masterful sandwich, it's going to be a really good day at VES. So, now, Walker, I know you check the menu pretty religiously, but I figured in preparation for this, you may not have had time to do that. So I took the liberty to double check the menu so you know what to look forward to for lunch. So today's menu, we are having chili, rice, steamed broccoli, farmer's market vegetables, and brownies. So if you need us to order you a sandwich from Magnolia's, we'll be happy to do that. I'm just kidding. But kidding aside, it has been a joy to have you a part of our lives. Walker makes it fun. Walker makes sure we don't forget to attend things like advisory lunch, and we are grateful for that, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you, MLJ and Ms. Thompson, for your kind words and welcoming me into your advisory this year. I always appreciate your constant positivity and never failing to keep us entertained. Ms. Rainey, if you're watching this, thank you so much for dealing with me my freshman, sophomore, and junior years. You have no idea how much of a positive impact that both you and the Rainey Advisory had on my first years at VES. I've spent the last 3 weeks, and honestly this whole year, completely in denial of the fact that I'm about to graduate and will not be with the people who have shaped me into the person I am today. I never thought the day would come for me to give this talk. In fact, I signed up as one of the last counselor talks in hopes that it would be canceled. I don't exactly have the best track record when it comes to public speaking. In fall of 2018, I came to VES as a nervous 14-year-old, absolutely terrified of everything, but especially the idea that people would not like me. But as my parents constantly reminded me, I would need to overcome this in order to have the best experience possible. This was a hard idea for me to grasp after coming from the same school that I have been a student of since I was 4 years old, with the same 30 people I had started out with. I decided that this one time, I would actually listen to the advice that my parents were giving me, and at the very least, try to fully immerse myself in the VES community. I thought the best way for me to do this would be to apply for a position on the student council, which apparently I would need to make a speech for. From what I remember, I spent a little too much time writing it. asking my new friends, who I didn't really know yet, for advice on how to make it perfect. The speech I ended up with was nowhere near where I had started, but that was fine because everyone told me they liked it, or at least they told me they did. I don't know if they actually did. When the day came for when our speeches would be given, I was feeling pretty confident. That is, until I asked for one final opinion in my biology class. Huge mistake. The one person I asked, minutes before heading into the chapel, told me it was terrible. There was no way I could use this. I was going to have to wing it. As I entered chapel, the number of people in the freshman class suddenly looked a lot bigger than 50. I began to panic, sinking lower and lower into my seat each time the next person went up. Unfortunately, I had to follow Janice, who gave the single most passionate speech I have ever heard. While I do not remember exactly what was said or happened after I went up to that table, I have been told that there was mumbling, there was swaying, and there were multiple rounds of applause throughout those painful minutes. After it was finally over, I was crushed. I had ruined any chance at getting a spot on the student council and of my new classmates thinking I was a normal, functioning human being. This moment, 3 years ago, is an example of how I've let fear control my life. My fear of not getting into a decent college prevented me from spending as much time with my friends as I would have liked, instead studying in my room for unnecessary amounts of time. My fear of being wrong has prevented me from speaking up in class or even in groups of people. My fear of being in trouble has kept me out of the Randolph tunnels. And most relevant of all, my fear of public speaking has prevented me from doing anything remotely resembling speaking in front of a large group of people since that day freshman year. I could go on, but I won't make you sit here and listen to me listing everything I'm afraid of. The message that I hope to get across to all of you today is to not let fear get in the way of what will make you happy. It's simply not worth it. Being afraid of speaking up does not solve anything, and while it may surprise you, an hour of studying does not compare to an hour spent laughing with your friends. Make the most of every moment you have here, because believe it or not, it's over before you know it. Kingsley, Samantha, Eleanor, and Susie, thank you so much for always being there for me to laugh with, even the time I threw up in the Walmart parking lot. I don't know what I'll do without y'all next year. Charlotte, I know I'm not always the neatest, but I hope you know that I'm trying. I could not have done this year without you as my roommate. Mrs. Chatlosh, I don't know if she's here. Thank you for dealing with me through college admissions. I hope my stress didn't rub off on you too much. Lastly, I want to thank my parents. I know I don't always listen, but just know that I appreciate everything you have done for me over the years, and I'm sorry I didn't let you come today. I hope you're enjoying this on YouTube. Seniors, 10 days until graduation. Let's make them count. Thank you.